It had been a long 25 years of marriage when a couple decided it was time for a divorce. It was mutual, and there were no hard feelings at all. In fact, after they left the lawyer's office, the newly divorced couple went out for a celebratory dinner. In the middle of dinner, the husband said, "Dear, now that we are divorced, I have to ask you something. I could never ask you this before as I didn't want to know and always lost my nerve. But," he said, "please be honest with me. 5 out of our 6 kids have black hair except Timmy with his blonde hair. So I guess what I'm asking, whose kid is Timmy?" "Oh my," she said. "I'm afraid it would hurt you too much. There is no way I can tell you that." "Oh, come on," he said, "I don't care who his father is, I just need to know." Finally, she said, "All right, fine. Out of the 6 kids, Timmy's yours." It was late in the afternoon and Bob, the owner of a local establishment, was washing glasses getting ready for another busy evening, when suddenly his friend Randy burst through the door. "Bob," he said, "you've got to get home quick. I just stopped by your place to see if you were home, and I heard another guy's voice coming from your house. So, I looked in the window and sure enough, your wife was in there, but there was also a strange guy sitting in your chair." Bob very calmly asked, "Oh yeah, what did this guy look like?" "Well, he was a tall guy. He was wearing a cowboy hat." "Aha," said Bob, not looking up from his dishwashing. "And tell me, did the guy have a long red beard?" "He did," said Randy. "Aha, and did this fella have a gold tooth?" "Wow," said Randy. "You're right again? So, what are we gonna do about it? Should we go over there?" Very calmly Bob poured his fiend Randy a drink and said, "Sounds like that guy Freddie Smith. That guy I'll get with anything, no matter how ugly they are." An American furniture salesman was on his first trip to Paris, France, and had just finished a long day going from store to store trying to sell his furniture. He made his way back to his hotel, and while in the elevator met the most beautiful French woman he had ever seen. He spoke no French and she spoke no English. So, he devised a plan. He took out his notepad and drew a picture of a taxi. She nodded and they made their way to a taxi, and drove around town looking at all of the sights. Next, he drew a table with food and drink. She nodded and they made their way to a beautiful restaurant and had an amazing dinner. Next, he drew a picture of 2 people dancing. She nodded with excitement and they found a small French cafe with music to dance to. Finally, the French woman took the notepad and drew a bedroom with a dresser, love seat and complete with a king-sized 4-post bed. He looked at her in amazement and nodded. They got in a taxi and went straight to her place. He walked her to her front door and then left her. He turned and got back in the taxi.